What is going on, Clippers fans? Welcome to a bit of an impromptu trade deadline hang. If you're listening to this later on any of the audio platforms, thanks for listening to us. We really appreciate it. If you want to watch this podcast, if you want to see us do some post-game stuff, you can find us at youtube.com/@Clippers Podcast. Big news. A pillar of the Clippers culture, I think, was moved today. Terance Mann is no longer a Clipper. Unfortunate, bummer, but all in all, it's better for both parties involved in this for sure. Terance Mann was out of the rotation. He was not getting meaningful minutes. He was not having the best season. It's tough, emotionally, but the move the Clippers made makes a lot of sense. It was Terance Mann and Bones Hyland for Bogdan Bogdanovic and 3 second-round picks, which might tell you something about how Bogdanovic has been playing and some of these ticky-tacky injuries he's had to deal with so far this season. It's been statistically kind of his worst year in the league so far. But he's, it pairs the rotation down. The Clippers also moved Kevin Porter Jr. For someone who I don't think is going to play very much. And Marjan Beauchamp. I don't know how many minutes he's going to play. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. Renzo, the old head, I'm older than him, said, "Man will be missed, but it had to be done. He will get cheers from this fan base anytime he steps on the court. Game 6 and Game 5 duck on Gobert will always be remembered." Couldn't have said it better myself. A very weird tenure for Terance. He did everything the Clippers asked him to do. He played multiple positions, in the same 7-day stretch. But there was a bit of a plateau development-wise. And it just made sense for the Clippers. Nothing but love for Terance Mann. On this podcast, we love Terance Mann, but it was time to move on for both parties. Hopefully he can go to Atlanta, get some playing time, get back into form, because when he is playing well, he can really help a team. How this helps the Clippers? Well, the rotation, like I mentioned, is pared down, right? We don't have to do any more of this. Who's the backup to? Is Terance going to play tonight? Is KPJ going to play tonight? We don't really know. Law Murray tweeting out that Bogdanovic should be looked at as Kevin Porter Jr.'s replacement. So as of now, it would appear that the backcourt off the bench is going to be Chris Dunn and Bogdan, which is, hey, okay. You got the defense there with Chris Dunn at point of attack. Law also said I thought this interesting thing about not thinking of it in terms of a backup point guard and more like a play starter. Kind of being asked to do different things depending on who you're on the floor with. So Ty still has some stuff to figure out how we're going to use these guys. But again, if Bogdan can get back anywhere close to what his average is from 3, the Clippers are going to be great. He's a career 38% shooter from deep. He's at 30% this year. He's bad. He's also at his worst field goal percentage. So theoretically, again, I'm saying theoretically, this should be moving up. And it looks like if it ends up working out, it's a wonderful trade for the Clippers. They get these seconds, which people were upset about when we traded for Drew Eubanks. So now we get one of those back. So it's going to be interesting. Ursula is asking, why do you think the Hawks agreed to this trade? I couldn't tell you. I do not know why the Hawks agreed to this trade. They get Bones Hyland to be their backup point guard. I mean, they're kind of a lost franchise, like where they're going wise. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a weird move that a weird front office does. I just think that's what happens. Jeremy Mormon asking, what do you think they're going to do with the second-round picks? Do you think they're going to make a move in the offseason, or do you think you're going to use them to draft players? I don't know. Second-round picks, I don't mean this disrespectfully. I lose track of them as soon as they come into the mix until they're traded. How many do we got 3 when we got Luke Kennard. We get 3 here. They're kind of like water. I don't know what they're going to do with them. probably draft a big who can't shoot very well, is my guess, with these second-round picks. So we'll see. Kevin Porter Jr. also moved off the team, which I'm going to be honest, I was a little surprised about this just based on how much time he was getting and seemingly the fact that he just was cemented as the backup point guard. But he's been traded to Milwaukee for Marjon Beauchamp. I don't know a whole lot about Beauchamp. I don't think he's going to be the backup point guard. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he plays meaningful minutes for this Clippers team. I don't think it's going to happen tonight against the Pacers, obviously. So it'll be interesting there. And now everything kind of moves towards the buyout market, right? Law Murray saying, Ben Simmons is going to be a big target for the Clippers. I think he's going to be a big target for most teams. On a buyout, it's hard to dislike the idea of Ben Simmons, again, for absolutely free on the buyout market. Malcolm Brogdon is another guy whose name has come up a lot. We thought the Clippers had a trade for Malcolm Brogdon not too long ago, and then that was nixed. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think they could maybe sign both if they really wanted to, but probably Ben Simmons is the focus right now. Will Updike, another host of this pod, really wants Ben Simmons, which would be interesting. Yep, Torrey Craig off the market. He's off to Boston. Can't blame him. Why would you not go there if you were Craig? But Ben, there's other than Ben Simmons and Malcolm Brogdon, who else do we really want to be on a buyout for this Clippers team? They're saying Brogdon is staying. Well, then it's Ben Simmons, baby. Someone did point out it would be fun to have a Bogdan and a Brogdon on the team. That'd be a good time. Okay, yeah, here we go. David Aldridge. The Wizards are holding on to Malcolm Brogdon because they believe that he and newly acquired Chris Middleton and Smart will be good mentors for the young guards and wings. We'll see. Lonzo Ball is absolutely not available. Lonzo Ball signed a contract extension, so we are not getting Lonzo Ball. Sorry to burst anyone's bubble there. There's been some Larry Nance has there's a couple people in the chat right now who wanted Larry Nance. He's kind of been on the buyout. Maybe we should get this guy radar for the Clippers for a little bit. I don't, for a team that's trying to get who needs maybe a younger, more athletic piece for defense. I don't know if Larry Nance is the right move. I'm not mad at it. He's a great locker room guy. He's not terrible, right? But I'm not sure defensively it's necessarily what the Clippers would be looking for. He's played 20 games this season. But again, this is buyouts. So it's hard to be arguing between Ben Simmons and Larry Nance Jr. Everyone wins or loses, depending how you look at it. Yeah, here we go. LaMelo and maybe Zion. Yeah, coming soon. Let's do it. But yeah, I thought this deadline was going to be kind of quieter than it was for the Clippers. And then they moved Terance Mann. It is relatively quiet, right? There wasn't any real big swings to have. How much better do you think the Clippers got after this trade deadline? There's going to be some buyout candidates, but I think they're slightly better for sure. I think they're better in the sense that we understand the rotation more now. There's less moves for Ty Lue to kind of make with the rotation, because I was a little concerned about that as we went forward. It was what we need a clear-cut rotation, right? We had this rotating starting lineup. It became very apparent that Derek Jones Jr. should be in that starting spot instead of Chris Dunn, which is great. Now we get a little more flexibility off the bench, a guy who, in Bogdan, who does fit well with this team for sure. I'm still a little worried about backup center, but I guess that's where you get Ben Simmons to come in and to effectively be a small ball backup center. Nico needs a break. He's a little older. He's going to be asked to play center in the playoffs, and we just need someone to maybe spell him a little bit. And yeah, I'm not mad at Ben Simmons for the backup. Yeah, Chris G saying kind of the idea of the shooting, especially from Bogdan, because it's been really bad this year, but it should get better. It would be nice. Ursula's got the plug, saying both Clippers and Cavs eyeing Ben Simmons. I think, yeah, a lot of teams, all the reports are like a lot of teams are going to be eyeing Ben Simmons. Hey, the Clippers can offer him a pretty big role, and if you're not asking him to shoot, you're not asking him to do anything but basically move the ball and play solid defense, which he can still do, I think. So Ben Simmons in the role the Clippers would have for him in that, please just play defense, please move the ball, make the cuts when you make the cuts, signal for the oop when you got it, I think would be great for a backup center role. Hi. Okay. Cat saying hi. Say what's up, Gravy. Yes, so this is a great point. If we can get the Bogdan that was going shot for shot with Team USA, we get a lot better. Hell yeah, we do. That was an awesome Bogdan. Bogdan also hates the Lakers with a passion, which I think helps this team. Maybe that's why they got him after getting our asses handed to us the other night. Greggy saying Kelly Olynyk and Lonnie Walker are available. I dislike Olynyk as a fan. I don't like Olynyk, but I think he would be good for this Clippers team. Jeffrey saying, honestly, I would still take Boucher over Boggy. Ship has sailed, man. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. But that's where we are. We can't micromanage. Like, what are we going to do here? Watch the Raptors, I guess. I don't know. It would be cool. I bet they called for him, but they couldn't make the move. Max asking, so overall, did we get better or no? I think the Clippers got better. They got better in a very boring way, which is shoring up the bench rotation and the rotation overall, and what Bogey should be able to bring in terms of shooting, not looking at this year, but holistically, I think it makes the team better. Does it make them some kind of super contender that now has some way better chance of getting out of the first round? Not necessarily. But they are better, right? Like this, I think the rotation is settled for the most part. We'll see how the buyout plays out, which could take a while too. Buyouts kind of take a weird amount of time, so don't hope for a ton of news on that. Yeah, Ursula, great point. I think we got better as long as we didn't compromise our defense. Totally agree. We didn't lose any defense in any of these trades, which is great. We kept Chris Dunn. Terance Mann's defense, the idea of it is there. He just wasn't playing. Bones, not losing any defense with that. So here we are. We are back. Yes. Addition by subtraction yet again. That is the theme of this season. Thank you, Norm Powell, and thank you, John, for putting that on. Yeah, because he actually shoots. Bogey is a better version of Kennard because he actually shoots the ball. Oscar is upset we can't win a damn trade. How did we lose the Bogdanovic trade? What? How did we lose that trade? We didn't lose that trade in the set. We traded two guys who don't play for a guy who's going to be the backup two guard. I don't consider that a loss. I don't consider it a loss. And those 3 seconds could be anything. They could even be another Terance Mann. Yeah, getting Ben Simmons, again, buyout, like, we can maintain the defense. Nairbot asking, of the new additions, is Bogdan the only one that gets actual minutes? I'm choosing to believe actual minutes. You mean like meaningful minutes, right? And the answer is yes. Drew Eubanks, we'll probably see an expanded role for him tonight, but don't really know what that looks like in the log run. But Bogdan's going to get real minutes. Bogdan's going to be the second guy off the bench for a playoff team. So he's very much getting real minutes. John Paul wants to know, what about Beauchamp? I don't know, man. He averages 2 points a game. I can't see him making a huge impact. I just don't think he's going to get a bunch of. There's no disrespect on him. I'm not super familiar with this game. Looking at the stats, I don't see him taking anyone's place in this this lineup for the Clippers. Maybe, but also I don't think it's a very good shot. No disrespect to the guy. Go follow him on Twitter. He'll follow you back. That was happening a bunch. But it's not, we traded out the backup point guard for Beauchamp. I just don't. He's not. Whose minutes is he taking? Oh, damn. Sorry to Jason Davis. As a diehard FSU and Clippers fan, it's a tough day. Will miss man. Hate to see him go. It was tough. There's a lot of great memories with Terance Mann. He hates Luka, which we all love. Obviously, Game 6. The Game 5 dunk was awesome. Really good series against Dallas, too. Hey. So it's tough. Sorry. I hope you have the Terance Mann FSU jersey. That's pretty sick, actually. 100% welcome to the Canoes. But also moving KPJ for the player that they moved him for in Beauchamp opens up some opportunities for Jordan Miller, right? Like, I don't think Jordan Miller and Beauchamp are that far apart in terms of where they are. So this does hopefully, theoretically, if you want to pull the strings, open up some more time for Jordan Miller. So it'll be interesting. Hi, yeah, you got to get out of here. He is very much on the Canoes, though. Wami saying, and this is a fair question, apart from his obvious flaws, what is the justification for trading our only backup ball handler? The justification is you don't have to worry about what the hell the rotation looks like, and you've set the bench rotation for the backcourt as Chris Dunn and Bogdan. I mean, that's the justification. I agree. I was surprised just from a pure basketball perspective how much KPJ was allowed to do for the team. But this shores up the rotation. There was I said it earlier, but it's kind of like, it's not so much like backup ball handlers. It's like, just, can you set shit up? Like, I don't know. They know how to get things going better, to the front office's eyes. But it's a totally fair question because it is like, okay, like Brogdon's staying too. So that kind of takes off one of the possible other, backup ball handlers. So we'll see how it works. JCC asking, I wonder why we didn't get a stretch 4 because there's none available. Like what stretch 4 are we going to get? This person's concerned that the Lakers and the Nuggets are too big for us. I don't know, man. I guess that's never really been like, we've never been like beat because we have a top 10 center, which helps. Bogdan's not a small 2. You know what I mean? I think they're going to be okay. Again, this team is a let's get out of the first round safely team. And that's where they're at right now. Yeah, I think this is totally fair. Greggy saying, I think we need more shot makers. I feel we have enough defense, not enough offense. That's where you hope that Bogdan's shooting comes back up, right? Again, career 38% shooter, really down in the dumps this year. So we hope that goes back up. It's not been very good this year. I'm not going to pretend that, but we hope that it gets back to his usual career splits from outside for sure. Alfredo Rodriguez, of the teams who made major trades, Spurs, Warriors, Lakers, rank them in terms of, it's the Lakers. What the heck? It's obviously the Lakers. They added Luka Doncic. It's a damn nightmare. I'm not the Warriors, whatever. The Spurs are very annoying, which is not fun, but it's the Lakers. They added the best player. So Jonathan Gonzalez, I like this point. Doesn't it suck not having a Zoo backup? It does. Someday I'm going to write a very long-winded book about how everything has gone wrong since the Clippers traded Hartenstein. It is weird. We'll see what Drew Eubanks looks like. He said all the right things in the pressers, right? He just wants to be there to fill in, give Zoo a break and stuff like that. But it does kind of suck. Right now, it's a little murky. And we hope that if they do get Ben Simmons on the buyout, that's kind of the small ball 5 backup, so you can give Nico a break a little bit. I think so. We just have to wait and see how the buyout market works, but it does kind of suck. If they get Ben Simmons, it makes me feel a little bit better because it's just more bodies you can put at the 5 position for the Clippers. So that would make me feel a little bit better than I do as of now. But it's a completely fair point, Mr. Gonzalez, that it does kind of suck to not have like a true backup for Zoo. Talk about swings and misses. The Clippers and backup centers have been bad these last couple of seasons. You saying Ty Lue going to play Patty Mills like KPJ was on the Clippers wouldn't be surprised. Hope that doesn't happen. We might see some random Patty minutes, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yes, the perfect sentiment from Greggy here. John Wall over Hartenstein, damn you, PG. Could not agree more with this sentiment right here. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people really freaking out just doing a numbers thing here. And the 2 rotational guys the Clippers lost, Bone's not a rotational guy. Terance was borderline not a rotational guy. He wasn't getting minutes. And the KPJ one, it was a little surprising to see him traded. I'm not going to pretend that. TD, yes, absolutely. Who else is available on the buyout market who can possibly play the backup 5? There's been Larry Nance Jr. There's been Ben Simmons. I guess I would go the younger option. I think that's kind of what I would lean towards. Would be the younger option. Again, buyout arguing. Trying to debate Larry Nance over Ben Simmons. I don't know if anyone's winning that argument. I don't mean that disrespectfully. So yeah, I feel pretty good, right? It's hard to feel like upset if you take kind of holistically what the Clippers had to work with, which is not a lot, especially in draft capital. They got better. They shored up the rotation. You traded 2 guys who don't play for a guy who's going to be your backup 2. You traded your backup 1, which we'll see how this works because evidently they believe in Chris Dunn and the idea that Bogdan can kind of do what they're supposed to do with the offense as backups. And there you go. The Clippers had no first-round picks to trade. Let's just everyone chill about that. I know it's hard. Having FOMO's real when every other team is making a bunch of trades. The FOMO's real. Jeffrey Herrera asking, what seed do we think the Clippers will finish at? Right now, they are the 6th seed. The team above them, who is 2.5 games ahead, just got Luka Doncic. They are 3.5 games behind the Nuggets, and they are a half game up on the 7 seed Timberwolves. I think we're looking at, 6 and 7 and 8 feel where we're going to be. I think it's 6, 7, or 8. That's no disrespect to the Clippers. The Lakers got better. We don't know what the Mavs look like, but I think they got better. They got worse. I take that back immediately. So I think they're going to be like that 6, 7, or 8. I don't know if they're going to be able to climb to 5 with what the Lakers have done. It's going to be tough. Yeah, I think it's going to stay at 6. Okay, I'm heading out. Thank you everyone for hanging out. This is going to be up in audio later tonight. We're doing a full crew episode tomorrow with myself, Adam, and Will. Go watch Adam over on Clippers Talk. Let's hope the Clippers get a win tonight. The Pacers are going to be annoying. But let's hope that we get a win tonight. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. As always, let's go Clips. Welcome the new Clippers with open arms. It's going to be a good time.